Good morning and welcome to this impromptu live. Hence why I'm a bit more casual than I normally am. And also I've got a drink because I'm really thirsty. And I'm just in a slightly different place because I've been doing some meditation this morning. So welcome if you're joining me live on. Hello if you're joining me on the replay as well. So I wanted to do this impromptu live this morning because this is the topic that's been coming up again and again and that I've been sharing this week. And so it's obviously something that people need to hear this week. It's been popping up in all sorts of places, and that's usually a sign for me that people need to know about this topic. So it is, how do you use your sensitivity as your superpower? So if you're like me, you might have at some point in your life been told that you're too sensitive. Maybe you get a bit emotional at things when you just get triggered by people emotionally quite easily, and we take things really personally. And maybe you even get affected by things like the media and the news and seeing things that aren't very nice, and you really take them to heart, and then you can't stop thinking about them. And this carries on through a theme in your life and your leadership. So if, like me, maybe if you were told you were too sensitive, the thing that you did was then you thought, well, do you know what, I really need to toughen up. So I'll just stop expressing my emotions. I'll stop telling people how I feel. Because I just, I get triggered by all these things that are happening around me. And I'll just be someone who's just, a bit unfeeling really. And then so you might come across as a bit aloof because you don't really express your emotions or talk about your emotions at all. And so then you just sort of carry on through life just thinking, well, this is just such a burden and a curse because I have to cover up how I feel. I have to pretend to people that I'm not really that sensitive. And it affects your life. And if you go into leadership, it affects how easy it is for you to navigate through a leadership position. And particularly the higher you get, as you're more likely to come across potentially challenging experiences. So I'm really here to tell you that your sensitivity is not a burden, it is not a curse, it's an absolute gift that is so useful and that you can turn into a superpower. Because if you think about how, if you're picking up constantly on other people's feelings and emotions, and you may well know that what people aren't saying is more than what they are saying, or what they are saying isn't matching with their body language, or what you really think that they intend, then you can use that to your advantage. So you can be saying to people, well, actually, tell me a bit more because I'm not sure I've got the whole story. Or you can play back to them what you know they're actually trying to get across to you. So you can be much more empathetic in the workplace, which works much better in building relationships, building trust, building loyalty, and having that ability to listen 100% in a particular present moment to how someone is trying to convey a message to you, how they're trying to get something across to you, and then interpreting it back to them as the reality, and getting that rapport and collaboration of people is a real power. It's a superpower. And also you can sort of call out, and you're not intentionally, aggressively calling people out, or, telling them that they're blatantly lying. But when you do have that ability and you do have that gift to know if people aren't telling you the truth, then you can kind of use that as the tool to let people know that it's okay for them to talk to you honestly. It's okay for them to trust you and get them to open up, and it's okay for them to be themselves and be truly authentic, by you being truly authentic and you being particularly truthful. Because the other thing that quite often sensitive people and empaths also have is the inability to lie themselves, because they just doesn't feel right for them. So you can use that again as your ability to be really open and honest and authentic, and to not worry about what people think about you, to gain that respect and trust and loyalty and build those relationships. Because we're all giving off a resonance, we're all giving off an emotional component of ourselves every time we speak and every time we act. So if what we're speaking and acting is not in alignment with who we are, then it's really obvious and evident to other people, even though it might not feel like that. So being authentic and honest yourself and portraying the real honest side of you is going to again work to your advantage in using that as a superpower. And so if you can read any person and you can read any situation for what it is, then you can adjust your own behaviors and you can adjust your own intentions so that you get the benefit of the situation and you get the result and outcome of the situation that you actually want. So you can steer things in a direction that you want to go. You can steer people in the direction to go because you're knowing what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're doing, and whether it's in alignment with actually what is being portrayed. And so this is so one of the things, the sort of last thing really is that if you're very sensitive, you're probably used to worrying about what other people think about you, and this has been maybe instilled a set of beliefs about what people might think about you, and that has made you always be a bit hesitant about maybe how you express yourself, how much of the real you express, going back to that hiding those levels of sensitivity. So if you can look at what those beliefs have become, and they will have planted some of myths in your mind about how what's okay to express and what is what you feel isn't because of what other people think and being judged and criticized, etc. Then looking at those beliefs that has instilled, if you can do some work on shifting some of those beliefs, again you can use that, because you can use your intuition and your instincts more. So the ability to know what actions to take that feel in flow and in alignment with the direction of your life and your leadership, then you're not having to worry about what other people think. So you can act much more intuitively, much more instinctively, and this in turn reduces stress and struggle, because you're only ever working and going with the flow of what you want to do, and take action in alignment with that. So anything that you do is an instinctive reaction to something that you know is intuitively right to do. You don't have that hesitation about worrying what other people think about you. So using your sensitivity as a superpower, so listening and being really present as to what other people are saying and doing and acting, and adjusting your ability to work out what's happening. Use your guidance and intuition, and to not gloss over that with worrying about what other people think and say about you, and also managing your own energy and emotions in alignment with your authentic and true self by expressing the essence of you. So really felt that people needed to hear that this week. If you want to explore more about that, then do have a look at what you can do to be working with me on my website, stillcalm.co.uk. And also, if you don't want to miss any of these events, and also I do a channel message each week, then do subscribe to my site, Louisa Hallam. So it's been great to connect with you this way today. Look forward to doing more of this in the future, and I shall see you very soon.